Now, another thing that was lacking cojones is our president, Joe Biden. He's been lacking some you know what for a while. Now, to give you a little backstory of what we're about to get into here, is remember how the Houthis, the Iranian backed terrorist proxy group, was going after our military personnel in Iraq, trying to kill them? And then they were going after our merchant vessels in like the Red Sea and everywhere else. And then they started going after our allies' merchant vessels. And then Joe Biden 127 times tells them to stop. He's giving a little slap on the wrist. Don't do that. Stop. Something bad's going to happen to you. Nothing really did. So then they blew up 3 tankers that are now at the bottom of the ocean. And then he goes on and goes, well, here's $10 billion. Here's $10 billion for humanitarian aid, but it's frozen. You can't touch it, but it's frozen. But they're going to move it from South Korea to Qatar so that the Qatar could be the, the middleman of this whole thing. Well, here you go, folks. Iranian-backed Houthi terrorist group strike another oil tanker, and we got video of it. That's how sick these people are. Not only do they blow it out of the water, they also recorded it. So video surfaced late this week of an attack that Iranian-backed Houthi terrorists carried out at the start of the month on another tanker in the Red Sea. The Islamic terrorists rammed a cheaply made explosive loaded boat drone into the side of the ship, causing a massive explosion that ripped into the vessel's ballast tanks. Now, they don't even have the balls anymore to sit there and strap themselves with this explosives. Now they're just using drones. It shows you how weak they've gotten, huh?
أكبر الموت لأمريكا الموت لإسرائيل النعمة لليهود النصر للإسلام لبيك يا أقصى لبيك يا أقصى لبيك يا أقصى.
All right, enough of that. The freaking theatrics, the music. You blew up an oil tanker, you idiots. They're act like they're saving the world. You know what I mean? We blew up an oil tanker. And that also leads us into, I don't have the posting, but that also leads us into the idea that I think it was our State Department released a warning saying that there is going to be possible terrorist attacks in the United States today. So just be vigilant. If you don't need to go to any crowded areas, I would for today not do that. There have a lot. If that comes from the FBI and is it the CIA or no? FBI and DHS was the two that released the announcement. So please, folks, be careful. Today is October 7th. They are expecting terrorist attacks on U.S. soil today, which you would think that why would we even have a warning like that? Well, because the Biden-Harris administration allowed millions to pour across the border, and we don't know who they are. Some of them we do, and some of them we know are terrorists. Now, you might be asking, well, Brad, if they know that they're terrorists, what are they still doing here? Great question. I'm right there with you. Great question. We know, according to the CIA, that there's terrorists in this country right now. We know where they live. I'm not exaggerating when I say we know the license plate number of the cars that they drive. That's how well we know these people and where they live. And Biden still gives them shelter in America. Now, after going after our merchant vessels, attacking us hundreds of times, attacking our allies hundreds of times, that's not an exaggeration. You would think Biden would come out and say enough of this shit. Or you would say Harris would come out and say enough of this. No. This one's going to flow. Right there for you, folks. Right there. Look what the president has to say. Biden-Harris admin urges Israel to go soft on Iran. You mean he's saying Israel that's taking it from the front and the back was taking it from Hamas down there from the southwest a little bit. And then the just from the north, Lebanon, and then kind of the other direction from Iran. Huzzah. The Biden-Harris administration is urging Israel to not retaliate too hard against Iran after the Islamic regime fired nearly 200 ballistic missiles. Not like little firecrackers. No. Ballistic missiles into Israel on Tuesday, forcing millions of people to run to bomb shelters. Immediately after the attack, Biden-Harris National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, who's a nut job, claimed that there would be consequences, severe consequences for this attack, and we will work with Israel to make that case. They've been saying this for years. I mean, it's like the boy who cried wolf. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then they don't do anything. I quote that 127 times before Biden did a single thing, and what he did was he blew up some dirt. He blew up some cement. Not really too far off what he did. He blew up an armory installation that hadn't been used for decades. And that Iranians were hoping that they would blow it up because it helps them with their demolition to build something greater and better, like probably a nuclear facility or something. In the days since then, the Biden administration has sought to hold Israel back in its response. Oh, really? When asked by reporters on Wednesday if he supported Israel striking Iran's nuclear facilities, Biden said the answer is no. Well, that kind of goes in conjunction with them wanting Iranians to build a nuclear warhead, which I guess allegedly they're really close. Biden said on Friday that he now does not support Israel striking Iran's oil facilities, which has brought the regime's tens of billions of dollars that has used its funds for terrorist proxy groups. Well, this makes sense. You want to know why this makes sense? Is because Biden loves terrorism. If he didn't, he would not be sending money to Iran. What? He wouldn't even send a penny. Why on God's green earth would you send a country whose policy, it's not a slogan according to the Ayatollah, their supreme leader said it's a policy, death to America, death to Western civilization. And I'm using those words very carefully. Why would we give them our money that wants to kill us and wipe us off the face of the earth? They're our enemy. They are an enemy. They don't like you. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. They do not like you. The fact that you just have American right there, that you're an American citizen, they don't like you. But, you know, for some reason, Democrats will sit there and pretzel their way into logic of like, they're great, they're awesome. Now, the Iranian people, yeah, they are great. The government isn't. The terrorists that they back aren't. But, you know, Biden wants to make sure they facilitate. So not only is he going to give them tens of billions of dollars of our cash, he wants to make sure they have tens of billions of dollars flowing into their oil so they could sit there and fund more terrorism. Makes you want to hit your head against the wall, I'll tell you that much. And Democrats, like I said, that's their agenda. They're going to put you last. If you give them the chance, Democrats will keep doing everything we're seeing. The southern border, the terrible economy, pumping the economy full of money. Here's this, here's that, right? Here's $25,000 for a first home. Here's $84,000 cash to you because you're an illegal immigrant. Here's a hotel fee that will cover. Here's your lawyer fees that will cover. Oh, your student loan debt, here's more money there. It's all going to go south, man. It's going to go south real quick. And in terms of the election, we got to do everything we can to stop it. The problem is, well, Democrats are doing everything they can to cheat already. And we've been saying this was going to happen. This is not news to us here on the Bald Brad Show. But Battleground State under fire for scheduling voter registration site to go dark. Weird. Same day as Butler rally. Oh, why? Well, they had maintenance. Oh, where did we hear this before? Remember when that pipe burst? Yeah, in 2020, the pipe, just miraculously, right? The odds of that happening in a nice building. The pipe burst. Yep, shut everything down, close the doors, kick everybody out so we can get the ballots in. Conservatives blasted Pennsylvania's Department of State this month for scheduling a system maintenance update to its voter registration website the same day as former President Trump returned to Butler. Interesting. And Elon Musk's like, hey, go out there and vote. Make sure you register. There's only a few days left, hours. Make sure you get it in. Well, they had this plan. The operation would have taken the site offline for several hours during the same time frame the Trump campaign expected to register voters. That's what they were pushing. We were all in here together. That's what Elon Musk was talking about, saying get out the vote. Make sure you sit there and register. You only have a couple days left. Well, that limits people's ability to go out and do certain things in terms of voting and registering. The department, however, moved the window of time for maintenance to later in the night amid an early outcry. Oh, well, they moved it, huh? Okay. Well, the department voter registration website will be unavailable on Saturday, October 5th, the day of President Trump will be triumphantly returning to the site of the assassination attempt in Butler. Oh, interesting how they just do that. Let's see the scheduling. Let's just, let's give them the benefit of the doubt here, you guys. Fox News Digital reviewed archived data from Pennsylvania voter registration website and found that it issued a disclaimer to voters that the website would be unavailable on October 5th, beginning at 6 p.m. Man, that is like almost the time Trump takes the stage. Huh. This website will undergo scheduled system maintenance and be unavailable Saturday, October 5th from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Just the odds that right when the dude gives a speech, right? Because he sat there and paused at like, what was it, 6:11 or 6:13 on stage, because that's when the first assassination attempt, as you see on your screen here, happened. Like everybody paused for a moment of silence. Do you understand like the odds of that taking place is pretty wild? But they'll continue to do it. Oh, they'll continue to do it. I mean, look what they're doing with immigration. Look what they're doing with the 10.5 that we know about that just came in under the Biden administration.